Forget those foot and mouth blues this week on RPM as we wash away the memories of a miserable summer and take you to a land where reggae and rallying combine for the first of 2 visits to the Barbados Rally Carnival. Well, foot and mouth may have driven us out of our country, but certainly there are some compensations. Thank you very much, Maria. It's not my first visit to the Bajan Texaco Rally. I was here 8 years ago when Kenny McKinstry made quite an impression, and he has certainly left quite a legacy.
Between me and you, the only way he can drive is if he get clearance from the airport in Barbados, you understand? I'm out flying low and fast. Kenny McKinstry, this is Greg from the hotel you stayed at the first time I come here. I got the trophy for the rally. Come back, we miss you.
Let me know when come.
Tell McKinstry come back.
Yeah, Kenny's quite a legend in these parts. He won the rally in 1993 and 1994. And this year, 3 Irishmen and a couple of very quick Englishmen have been imported by the Bajan Hot Shoes to this tropical island where rallying fervour reaches fever point.
So can the Irish conquer the West Indies on their return to paradise? Can they stick 10 days of partying? Who are these marathon men?
Cool shades, Mr. Hogg.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Flo. Yeah, ready to go, ready to go. I think the local guys are going to be really tough. They know the terrain, the stages are very, very strange.
Sean, looking hot and going to get hotter.
Yeah, it's going to get hotter by the looks of things, isn't it? Yeah. Well, we hope it gets hotter rather than rain. We wouldn't like the rain, so we hope it stays warm.
Is heat a real big problem in this rally?
It hasn't been for us yet, for we've had a Toyota car with aircon making notes, so we're not just quite sure what this is going to be like, but at home it's warm, so obviously out here it's going to be extra warm, and I expect it's going to be a slight problem for us, yeah, nothing usual.
This is motorsport with a sport underlying, so these people are absolute enthusiasts.
Well, you're going to be under a big responsibility now to give them a big show. You've come a long way.
We've come a long way, and we're going to probably do our best, but we'll see what happens on the day.
Yeah, man! Wow! It's a feeling you just can't explain, you know. When you see the vendors going down the road and the men selling their craft.
The visiting team from England is also pretty strong.
There's 4 local guys in Group N cars that are all supposed to be quite equally matched. But we'll see if Richard and I can get in and shake him up a little bit. We'll see how it goes. We'll take the first few stages at our own speed and then see where we lie from there.
I can't believe in such a small area we get so much enthusiasm, for an event. It's a bit different to in the UK.
And he's stripped down for action, yeah?
Yeah, well, if I could only dress like this tomorrow, but I'm afraid I've got to put a racing suit on tomorrow.
3 6R4s in the event. That should be interesting.
Yeah, they'll certainly make a noise, won't they?
Good little car for this, though.
Yep, they're quick to change direction, fantastic on brakes and acceleration. A bit of a dragster, really.
To bring a World Rally car to this appreciative audience is going to cause almost a riot.
Yeah, it looks like it. I don't think we're really prepared for what we're coming to here, because we just thought it would be good fun in the sun to do a rally, but the enthusiasm of the population is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
Now for the locals, and things have come a long way in 8 years.
Paul, obviously local equipment has improved a lot over the years.
Yes, indeed it has.
This is what, a full Group A car, is it?
Yes, this is a Group A car. I've had it now for 3 years. So we've definitely come a long way since the last time we spoke.
Absolutely.
Obviously, Roger Skeete and Trevor Manning and myself, and Roger Hill, we have probably the 4 best cars, and with the local knowledge, that's going to be an advantage. But of course, there's some very good equipment coming in.
Trevor, you know how to win this rally?
Well, we have in the past in '99, but it's always a very tough rally. A lot of competition, especially this year. But we have a bit of an advantage here with the local knowledge. But I see they have a lot of good machines out of the UK and Ireland especially. They should definitely give us a lot of trouble.
Roger, big changes since we were last here.
Huge changes, major differences to the regulations and to the cars, yeah.
And rally's a little bit longer too, we see.
It is. I'm hopeful that once we get this going and we get more foreign input, and especially more foreign competitors and visitors, we can actually get longer stages, and more support from Tourism Authority and the police and everyone to do that, and really have some nice long stages.
You were top man 8 years ago, you're still top man on the island.
Well, I think it's probably a little more precarious than it used to be, but we still fight hard. Yes, it's definitely still very competitive, but I'm still up there.
It's time for the off, and thankfully you don't have to take things too literally in Barbados when it's time to go.
The rally starts in the north of the island with 2 runs over Orange Hill, Windmill and Turner's Hall stages before lunch. There's a lot different about rallying in Barbados. The temperature is hot, 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 the stages are short and difficult, and they run the event with reverse seating. So James Betts in his production Starlet is the first car we see on the road. The enthusiasm is the same for the smallest production car to the fastest Group A machine, and there's plenty of enthusiasm for Charlie Jakes, the English Super 1600 star, in his dancing little Proton. Kurt Thompson is literally about to find himself in the horns of a dilemma. And Barbadian Barry Mayer is pushing his little modified Starlet right to the limits. Jason Clement is trying too hard to stay in touch with his class rival. And here's a local favourite. This must be the lowest Nissan in the world, and Jeffrey Hewlett knows how to drive it at the greatest angles. It's hard luck for Hottie. The carnival organiser Greg Crozier will crash out in the opening stages. And the Cumberbatch brothers have an enormous local following. Sammy's Mark I Escort seems to have grown WRC spoilers and wings. They were never like this in Roger Clark's days. Cliff Rowett, from another well-known Bayesian motoring family, is another who loves to entertain. And sometimes things just get a little out of hand. Stuart McCleary follows suit. You'd better get out of here pronto, Stuart. If you're a Manning in Barbados, you only seem to know one thing: sideways motoring. Graham is just mad. Clean, magical mad. Martin Stockdale has got the message. How to ingratiate yourself with the natives in one easy lesson. Drive a beamer and throw it sideways. Elmo Cumberbatch has a new bright yellow beamer. But the talented Sean Gill swaps ends at Turner's Hall. We are obviously not the first Irish visitors to this paradise island. Stage 2 in the rally, just down the road from the Mount Gay Distillery, the oldest rum distillery in the world. But that's not the only kind of liquor around here, obviously. These guys make me feel at home.
I smell Guinness in that fuel.
The black stuff isn't the only thing to confuse me as the Group N leader drifts by. Brian Gill in the Banks Impreza isn't just leading the showroom category by over 16 seconds by lunchtime, he's also in 7th place overall. Peter Thompson is next up in that category in his Proton. Then it's Big Jonathan Stillo in his Mitsubishi.
100.
With Richard Hogg and Mark Hanna in 4th place in the Mascot Evo 6 and struggling like all the visitors against the skill and local knowledge of the Bajans. If you haven't got a nickname before you arrive, you soon acquire one out here. Hoggy is obviously trying, but by lunch, the leading Group N visitor will be over half a minute behind. Ryan Champion and Hoggy are very evenly matched. The English drivers just 2.5 seconds behind in the Evo 3.
Oh, and that other thing that's very different about rallying in Barbados, if you want to get right into the middle of the action here, all you have to do is catch a bus. The laws allow the motor club to close the roads for the rally, but they don't allow them to interrupt the bus timetable. Sean McArdle and Paul McCann impress on the Lambert stage. But this is a very different climate to his native Armagh. The Taranto de Paul Salika is not finding its way through the cane fields as quickly as Sean would like it to.
170. Open square right at 3s, into 4 left.
The Irish visitors are just knocking on the top 10. Paul Byrne in the Banks Beer Group A Impreza is a much fancied runner, but he'll have a slow time on the 7th stage, dropping him down the order. Jamaican Mark Evans has Group A parts in his Evo 5, but like the Irish, he's unfamiliar with the stages. Denis Biggerstaff and Damien McCann lead the Irish attack in 8th place. Turner's Hall stage is fast, very fast. And Dennis and the XL Metro are making a lot of new friends in the Caribbean. Roger Hill, another local hot shoe, loses a shoe at the start of the 2nd stage, which costs the Bridgetown Toyota dealer at least 12 seconds on the Lambert stage. Chris Mellors also hits early trouble, and right in front of our cameras. This spin drops the former British National Rally champion 8 seconds. The fancied visitor lies in 5th place.
That was spectacular. That was spectacular. That was perfect. Come back next year.
Then it's the two Maloney brothers. The younger Stuart, as we can see, is right on the limit in his Group A Evo 3 in 4th place. And Mark is doing remarkable things with his New Zealand preparedness and GTR in 3rd position. Micey Manning, the crowd favourite, has the Quaker car, as always, right on the limit. But Trevor, or Electric Micey as he's universally known, not quite match his great rival Roger Skeete's times on the morning tests. And here comes the Sheriff. The Texaco Escort Cosworth post fastest time on all 7 of the opening stages to lead by just over a second at the lunch halt.
6 more stages will bring us into darkness at the end of the first day on the Barbados Rally Carnival.
Hello, people. We're going on RPM.
Richard Hogg still lies in 4th place in Group N, but he has a hard stopper on the last stage of the day.
And the 4 right uphill. 4 right uphill. 150.
Ahead of him, Jonathan Stills has slipped ahead of Peter Thompson's Proton into 2nd place in Group N. But none of them have a mission of catching Brian Gill, who is now in 6th overall. Denis has had a difficult day. Strange stages, incredible heat inside that metro sauna, but still the Northern Ireland champion finishes the first day inside the top 10. Mellors may be the top visitor in 5th place, but he's fighting with the recovering Roger Hill.
We had some bad luck in the 2nd stage where we got a puncture and lost about 13 seconds, but I think we're back up to like 6th or 5th now, so we're trying to inch back up.
Stuart Maloney continues to push it.
I'm in 4th right now behind my brother, but I just took about 4 seconds off of him on the last stage, and I think I'm probably within 2 seconds striking distance now.
So much for brotherly love.
Yeah, well, he's my bigger brother, so I'm going to show him how it's done.
Right now, however, apart from a minor gearbox problem, his big brother is in charge. And Micey has really been putting the hammer down this afternoon. And in the darkness, Manning moves ahead of his great rival to lead by a slender 1.7 seconds. Roger Skeete, after a perfect day up to the darkness, has encountered a transmission problem, and we are now guaranteed an epic Bayesian battle for the Texaco International stages on day 2. Others are not so lucky.
You never know who you're going to meet in Barbados, but a rally cross-dresser is a new one to me. Been the excitement of seeing the man known as Mr. Crazy, but poor James Betts has completely lost the run of himself and his Toyota. Stuart Maloney's efforts to catch Big Brother come to a very sudden halt on the Drax Hall stage. The Mitsubishi is very second-hand. Fortunately, Maloney Minor didn't miss the most important event of the weekend, the post-event party. Jeffrey Noel suffers a similar fate on the notorious Drax Hall jumps. But Brian Gill continues to dominate Group N, and he's now in an amazing 4th position overall. Jonathan Still has moved up to 2nd amongst the less modified men. Possibly because of Peter Thompson's big moment on Drax Hall. Richard Hogg negotiates the notorious Drax Hall jumps, but have caught out Maloney and Jeffrey Noel.
50, 3 right, 100, and caution, 2 left over bad jump uphill up to this crest. 200, up to the crest, C250.
Hoggy has stuffed ice into the intercooler. And down his pants by the look of it.
Well, we were just told that we were the best around some of the corners. A couple of big guys come over and says, yeah man, you are the best around the corners. That's very good, but I think that's the one that we went off into the scenery.
Sean McArdle's been doing some good times this morning. The Toronto to Paul car now looks decidedly modified.
We're trying to make this into the WRC Corolla. 3 stages back from service. Went off flat in 6th gear, but 130 mile an hour of sugar cane, so we clipped the pole on the way in, just over shiny tarmac. We'd run before and it was okay, but we just got caught in a bit of shiny stuff. And only scare was to avoid the pole, and lucky enough the pole just got the back corner of the car. The staff were probably 200 yards into the middle of cane, feel the big high cane. Find the way back out, it's a bit of a job again. But we got back out and was up probably 40 seconds.
Watching with interest there.
Yes, I am, and I see the guys with a small sledgehammer. What they need is what we West Indians call BF and FI.
And this is?
Brute force and ignorance.
So we have Electric Micey, the Sheriff, Stillo, Hoggy, and now Cane Cutter McArdle.
Now, it does have to be said that the locals have certain advantage. For example, if you live in Barbados, it's a pretty small island, so you get to know the road, so pace notes are pretty irrelevant. And there's some other fairly basic navigational things. For example, if you're at a bus stop and you're going out of Bridgetown, it says, out of the city. And if you're going to Bridgetown, it says, to the city, the one big town on the island. Now, ain't that logical? And there ain't no other signs.
We've only done about 60 competitive miles in 2 days of rallying, but who cares when you're in the sun? And those 60 competitive miles have been highly competitive. Bayesians love BMWs, and Martin Stockdale has given them plenty of reasons to deepen their devotion for the Bavarian product. Charlie Jukes has made a big impression in the Proton to finish a fabulous 16th overall in a 1600cc car. But Paul Byrne has had a dreadful weekend.
No, we had a bad day yesterday. We had an off at Turner's Hall, lost about 10 seconds there. And then in the Woodland to Culleton stage last night, on one of the very long straights at about 130 miles an hour, we had a right front wheel blowout. But today we've been right on the pace with the other guys, so we're just driving really, to finish the rally, but we're out of the points really.
Andy Elliott and Lynn Jenkins finish in 11th position. We recruited local enthusiast Dale Awell to analyse his driving style.
Here comes Adam Metro now. Here he goes. He slows down too much here at this bend. Consider the other bend. Here he comes. Push on the right hand now. And he controls it. That goes again. Go on.
Denis has had more problems today.
We've been struggling this last few stages. We have probably a wishbone ready to fall off. It's just a big watcher holding it on, so we weren't going too hard, especially the bumps.
So you're dropping down the order a bit, are you?
I would say so, just cruising and such, so if we can get it fixed, we'll get going a bit faster after the break.
However, Denis and Damien survived to take 10th place. And so does this little Bayesian Barker.
Barry Mayer and Richard Edwards put in a mighty drive to take 9th in their Starlet. Then it's the Group N runners-up, Jonathan Stills and Heath Hazel. Rallying veterans Richard Rowett and Jason Chandler bring their Toyota home in 7th spot. Headed by the Group N winners Brian Gill and Ryan Wood, who end up in 6th place in the general classification. Chris Mellors has a mad moment here. But 5th is as high as the visitors can get this year. Changed times from the Kenny McKinstry days. But make no mistake about it, the Bayesians love every moment of the English champions' charge through their tropical island. He and Craig Morley can't be accused of not trying. Roger Hill recovers from that early puncture to make it a Bayesian quartet at the top of the timesheets. Kenny has a fabulous drive in the unusual Nissan Pulsar GTI-R to retain third place throughout the rally.
But none could match the dynamic duo, Macy and the Sheriff. Trevor Manning and Michael Wood were on fire during the closing stages as they fought to fend off recovering Roger. There's little doubt that both these drivers would be capable of acquitting themselves well anywhere in the rallying world. Roger Skeete and Dave Crawford's recovery in the Texaco Escort Cosworth is dramatic. The club's chairman is fastest on 16 of the 23 stages during the event. The Quaker State Mitsubishi and the Haviland Ford are so evenly matched, it takes the Barbados Rally Club 24 hours to decide the result. With only 16/100ths of a second separating the Sheriff and Macy, they come up with a truly Caribbean solution. The 2001 rally is declared a draw.